guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm Callie.
I'm Bean. I'm Brittany.
So today is our 5th installment of our Harry Potter book to movie review. So we are doing Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix by J.K. Rowling. So this one is probably the one we were least looking forward to because it is not a great film.
No, it's the longest book.
And shortest film of the entire thing. Big yikes.
Yeah, we have feelings.
Lots of them.
They're not generally good.
But we'll keep it short.
We will.
To the best of our
true.
ability, yes. So, per usual, we'll start with the new characters. So, we get 3 main characters introduced into this film. Well, first being our new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, who everyone loves to hate. That is Dolores Jane Umbridge, who is played by Imelda Smenton, and she does phenomenally.
It was perfect.
I hated her. Hated her a lot.
Yes,
It was
perfect.
easy to hate her.
Yes.
The next one we have is Luna Lovegood, or Looney Lovegood, and she, again, also phenomenal portrayal of Luna, almost exact carbon copy as to what I imagined in the books.
Very much so.
And the last major one is Bellatrix Lestrange, who is Helena Bonham Carter, and she just
phenomenal.
So well done.
She's amazing.
She plays the crazy lady.
Very
Perfect.
well.
Very well.
She's a very good crazy lady.
She embraces her typecast. She embraces it, and she gives us an amazing performance, and it was so well done.
Perfect. So many words. So we do get a couple other characters introduced.
Yep.
However, we don't see them.
Yes. The main one for me was Tonks. I mean, Nymphadora Tonks. Don't you dare call her that. She is a big character in this book. In the film, we catch glimpses of her. We don't get her clumsiness. We don't get her metamorph make
Yeah, we see that a little
a
bit.
little bit, but not much. And it's just
We don't get her personality.
We
We
don't.
don't really get the idea. She has that conversation with Harry on what it means to be an Auror, and we just don't. We miss a lot from the Order itself, and that's just one thing that is really disappointing because obviously it's an important part of the plot.
It's the title of the book.
And we miss, and it
What?
sets up so much for the remainder of the story that it just kind of like, well, they miss it in 5, so here we are in 6 and 7, and then it's just like,
Yep.
if we're going by how the movie was, it shouldn't have been called the Order of the Phoenix because the Order was hardly ever in the movie. So it'd almost make more sense for this to be Harry Potter and Dumbledore's army or something like that, and the DA.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because that's what this movie is more about, which is fine.
Because the DA is a huge aspect.
Yes.
It's their generation's version of the Order of the Phoenix, which is really crucial to the whole plot.
Yes.
However, we still need the Order.
It's more significant when we know that it's the past repeating itself, basically.
Moving on from that aspect of the fact that the title didn't really make sense for the movie, but whatever. One of the biggest issues that we noticed while watching this and kind of discussing the film was they screwed up the timeline horrifically. So many things happen out of order, and I can understand why this is like the least liked film of them all because it's all screwy.
It is.
Yeah.
Even the way that they did some things, it didn't really flow. It didn't
Make sense?
It just didn't work. It didn't make sense, and I'm still wondering why they did that.
Yeah. Like, I get trying to fit so much into one film, and I think that's why we get a lot of bouncing back and forth between the DA and Umbridge's rise in her position in Hogwarts. But then again, we miss a lot of the other little things throughout it, like the interactions between Umbridge and McGonagall. We miss Quidditch. We miss the prefects. We miss a lot of things that go into why Harry was feeling the way he was, and the angst and the bickering and a lot of the build-up to the intricacies of their friendships and later on in the movies and the books. And it's just, it fell short, and it was really unfortunate.
It was. We missed a lot of the things that we noticed that was skipped over were smaller aspects, but they built upon greater overarching aspects of the films or the story itself. So yeah, the prefect is like a small detail, but that continues on throughout the rest of the books. And like a lot of these details got pulled through to the other books, and you needed that nugget of information to understand what was happening later.
Especially with the relationship and how close the Weasleys are.
Yeah.
In 7, with Ron carrying around the radio and trying to figure out everything, we missed a lot of the why. Like, we get a little bit of it. Like, we know as book readers why he's feeling like this, but as movie watchers, you don't necessarily get, you're just like, oh yeah, Ron's close with his family, but you don't understand that because 5 cuts out a lot of their family dynamic.
Yes.
Missing Percy, Molly Weasley and her love for her family, and Harry and Hermione, and it's just like there's so much that we miss, and it sucks.
Yeah.
Because it sucks a lot of the emotion out.
It does. It makes a lot of things later not have as strong as an impact, which is kind of like one of the things, I think we talked about it in the last one, how Dobby plays a huge role in 4, 5, and 6, not just in 7, where he's brought back from, we don't talk about him after movie 2, and then movie 7 is when we get him back. Like, he is throughout, and it makes that emotion so much more emotional and an actual, like, loss, opposed to just, oh, this elf who helped me once, like, 6 years ago came back and sacrificed himself for me. It's
bummer.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't have as much of an impact.
It's very much a bummer kind of thing in the movies, whereas in the books, it's a heart-wrenching thing.
Yeah.
Which now I'm on the wrong book. Anyways, minor detail. I do like how they did the DA and how they brought up the fact that lots of the people only showed up to the first DA meeting because they wanted to hear about Cedric. And when he brings that up and he goes through that whole thing, that is a thing that I think I'm glad they didn't skip over. I will say.
I do like how we get the Fred and George kind of saying F it, and they blow up things.
That whole scene is glorious.
It was amazing.
It's an amazing scene, and it's still like trying to bring the positive to it, but you're still thinking like you're still missing so much.
You are.
And that kind of...
Well, you're missing huge plot points. We're not just missing these little... We are missing all of these little things. We're missing the actual school aspect, which we're missing most of the owls, which is a huge thing, and a huge just plot point in book 5 is the owls, which is their big examination, the career advice. We miss all of that. But one of the biggest plot points that we never get answered in the film is who sent the Dementors. We get that answer in the book. It's Umbridge. It had nothing to do with Voldemort. It was just Umbridge trying to like make Harry seem just insane.
Yeah. And the thing is what really irks me is all it needed to be was a line.
Yeah.
It was one line. In the scene that they were already there, all they needed was to Umbridge say that one sentence.
I think they switched that one out with "I really hate children."
Yeah, and it's
which we got that already.
That was implied. We figured that one out, but yeah, no,
it's frustrating.
I will say I did like the Thestrals.
The Thestrals were
they
well
did
done.
the Thestrals so well. That was basically how I pictured them too. I'm pretty sure. So that was really nice. Although you don't meet the Thestrals in the right way or at the right time, but that's
goes back to the timeline issue.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing again that we talked about before, and but.
I think the other big aspect of the book that I really enjoyed was St. Mungo's. We get that completely cut out. So when Arthur Weasley's attacked, he goes to St. Mungo's for a while for Christmas. We see Gilderoy Lockhart. We meet Neville's parents. We get a ton of background in that scene. We also get a little bit more of an understanding as to what wizard medicine looks like, which I was very intrigued by.
It's very interesting.
Not even a mention of St. Mungo's. Nothing. It's a huge thing, and I think that was a huge opportunity to bring bigger roles starting out here on out. And it was a huge missed opportunity.
Yes. So another major thing for me, it kind of goes back to the love of the Weasley family. We miss Molly Weasley's Boggart, and I don't remember exactly what I was doing. I listened to the audiobook for this one, and when I listen to the audiobook, I'll be driving to work, cleaning, making dinner. I think when it came to that part, I was just kind of chilling. I think I was cross-stitching. I actually stopped what I was doing and really listened to that part, and the emotion you feel where it's Molly Weasley in the corner in a fetal position with her wand trying to fight this, and her husband, her boys, Ginny, and Harry all flash dead in front of her. And you see Harry walk into this, and he doesn't know what to do, and he's trying to comfort Molly while trying to stop the Boggart and yell for Lupin and Moody, and it's so powerful. It's such a powerful scene that sets up so much, and we miss it.
Yeah.
And I get why they take it out, because, I mean...
That's hard to convey.
It's hard to convey. It's very dark.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a kid's movie and a kid's book. I mean, as a parent, like, if I was a parent watching it with my kid, I wouldn't want them seeing dead bodies just flashing on the screen. But at the same time, there's a lot missing from it.
Yes.
Because in that, too, Percy also flashes there, and you see, even though we're missing that whole aspect of Percy's not really part of the family right now, Molly still loves her son.
Yep.
And I don't know. I get chills talking about it because it's one of the most powerful scenes, in my opinion, that sets up a lot of the motherly love that Harry doesn't really have and is missing, but it's still part of an overarching plot point of a mother's love is what saved him.
Yep. More than
And
once.
Now it's Molly Weasley is that motherly figure that he's missing, and it finally hits him how much she loves him.
Yep.
And that's just one of those things where I'm like, come on. Another scene that I felt was a little
Lackluster.
was the ending in Dumbledore's office. We miss quite a few things.
Miss a lot of explanations.
Yeah, we miss why Dumbledore has kept Harry at his aunt and uncle's, because that's one of the biggest things that people say, like, oh, well, why would Dumbledore keep Harry in this abusive home? It's because the love thing.
Yep. It's a
wouldn't work.
protection.
Yeah.
Wards.
Yep.
And we also miss Dumbledore explaining that he knew about this prophecy, he knew about this connection the entire time.
Yep.
And has been keeping it from Harry, even though Harry has been fighting Voldemort
Constantly.
for the last 5 years.
Basically the reason why we all dislike Dumbledore so intensely, and it really shows how manipulative he is being and will continue to be.
Yep.
So it's...
We also missed the full explanation of the prophecy, which, I mean...
We hear it, but we don't get the full aspect of what it really means. We don't get Dumbledore explaining how there were 2 boys born at the end of July, but part of the prophecy said that Voldemort will mark him as his equal, and that's how it became Harry instead of Neville. We miss those aspects.
And we miss the anger Harry feels.
Oh, yeah.
Because you see Harry's angst throughout the movie, but you don't see his anger
Or his grief.
or his grief.
He never gets to grieve for Sirius.
We see a little bit of it as Sirius is dead and as he's grieving it there, but we're not seeing it when Harry is throwing and breaking things in Dumbledore's office, and Dumbledore's like,
Break it.
I can
Go.
fix it.
Do it.
Go.
This is meaningless to me. But what you are feeling means the most.
It's yes, it's a warranted anger.
Yeah. It's really weird with Dumbledore because you see the aspects of where he cares for Harry, but he's also using Harry.
Yep. So that's probably about the major issues. We could go into so many nitpicky little aspects. We could.
Yep.
We won't.
It'd be a very long video at that point.
It would. Plus, I think this is the book where most of us have a lot of issues with character development and plot points, but that's not what these are about. We may eventually deal with those at a later date. However, not what these videos are doing. So, with that, that's going to be the end of this video. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. We post videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday.
And if you want to be notified whenever we post these new videos, you can hit the little bell icon down below.
And make sure to follow us on Instagram and Goodreads and follow along with our Serpent and Badger book club on Goodreads. Everything will be linked below.
And we will see you guys in our next video.
Bye!